au large pour rejoindre les barges avec une mer bien agitée. Ensuite, la peur au ventre, tourner en attendant que les groupes de 20 barges soient en place et filer vers la plage. Ces vagues de barges sont arrivées sur notre plage toutes les 20 minutes. Ce système a permis de faire débarquer une grande partie des 23 000 hommes ici le 6 juin. Les 3 statues très réalistes qui se trouvent devant vous représentent les hommes de la première heure de Utah Beach. Dans le musée à côté de la barge authentique, nous venons de dévoiler la statue de M. Higgins avec toutes les explications et vidéos qui vous permettent de rendre hommage et de comprendre. Lors de la première visite de M. Fortenberry, découvrant le musée, nous nous sommes attardés devant la vitrine médicale. Et là, très émus l'un et l'autre, nous avons réalisé que votre grand-père chirurgien, mort par accident sur notre terre, et mon père, blessé ici, nous ont laissé une histoire commune qui nous lie pour toujours et qui va bien au-delà de ce magnifique mémorial. Pour cette émotion partagée, cette belle journée, ce cadeau, très sincèrement, merci.
Allocution de M. Fortenberry, Congressman USA, du musée de Nebraska.
Thank you. Bonjour. Je suis très content d'être ici avec vous. Tout d'abord, je voudrais remercier M. Henry Millet, mon bon ami, le mari de Saint-Marie-du-Mont, et M. Charles de Valavilliers, le président du musée de Bergamont de Utah Beach, pour leur direction et leur hospitalité. Thank you so much. C'est aussi un plaisir de vous voir ainsi, Madame Ambassador Hartley. So nice to see you again as well. Thank you for your presence here. I would also like to thank briefly the museum staff, particularly Ingrid and Mr. Benoit, who have done such an extraordinary job of coordinating today's event. And also let me recognize Madame la Préfète de la Manche, Danielle Paul Montemasson, and her assistant, Monsieur Denis Wall, de la Préfecture de la Manche. Thank you all so much for your leadership in putting together this important event today. It was on the night of June 6th of 1944 that President Roosevelt came on the radio to tell Americans that the greatest battle of their time had begun. He led our country in prayer. America held her breath, and her people lifted their eyes to heaven for those who are hitting these beaches an ocean away. Along this coastline, the future of civilization hung in the balance. Young soldiers were given the assignment to land in the face of a ruthless, well-trained Nazi enemy. And as their Higgins boats landed, machine guns fired and mortars fell from well-conceived German bunkers. Some soldiers drowned before making it ashore. Others died instantly in the hail of gunfire. And as General Omar Bradley said, quote, 6 hours after landing, we had 10 yards of beach. But somehow, inch by inch, these brave young men, fighting through the storm of bullets, managed to secure these beachheads. Last year, I was privileged to represent America at the 70th anniversary of the Great Battle. President Obama and President Hollande spoke movingly about D-Day, what it means, what it meant. As President Hollande said, France will never forget. A good number of veterans made it to the ceremony that day. Most were over 90 years old, and all of them were in good cheer. One veteran, as I recall, said to me, I haven't been here in 70 years. Much better reception this time. Something else happened to me while I was here last year. I met a historian, a retired officer in the British military, Major Timothy Kilvert Jones, who is with us on the stage here. He gave an extraordinary overview of D-Day with an absolute command of the details of the battle. I was so impressed by the Major's speech that I invited him to come to Nebraska last summer to give a presentation to my community. And while there in Columbus, Nebraska, we visited the Andrew Jackson Higgins World War II Memorial at the entrance of that community. When Major Kilvert Jones saw the Higgins boat and the statue of the troops, he simply replied, "This belongs on Utah Beach." And here we are today. Today represents a remarkable effort by the people of Columbus, Nebraska, that small prairie community in America's heartland, nestled along the Platte River, the very route where the first Western settlers journeyed to build their new life. And the people of Columbus, Nebraska, have now built a new memorial to life in honor of those men who gave their all, in honor of the veterans who are still with us, in honor of the people of America whose spirit of generosity helped liberate Europe, and in honor of the French, whose partnership and friendship we deeply value. Now back home, this original monument was the idea of high school kids, students in Mr. Jerry Meyer's Columbus High School social studies class over a decade ago. I want to thank all those noble, hardworking people of Nebraska who I represent in the United States Congress. And I want to thank Major Kilvert Jones for recognizing the meaning of this monument and conceiving the idea for it here on Utah Beach. I want to thank the people of Saint-Marie-du-Mont and their leadership again, who have warmly received us, and all of the people of Nebraska who have participated in this great effort. And I do think this effort is worthy of the World War II generation, the greatest generation, as we call them today. We reflect fondly and appropriately on that generation, some of whom have joined us today. Gentlemen, we admire your courage. We are nostalgic for your values. We want what you had: purpose, determination, and a can-do spirit. So I say to us all, why not? Let's do it again. Let's attack the disquiet that is affecting so many of our countries. We live in an age of deep anxiety. We long to rediscover our narrative, to recover the source of our strength. And if we can retranslate the ideals of that great generation for our time, perhaps we can reclaim their legacy for today. Chaos and disorder are not inevitable in our century. Let's defeat them, along with the imperialism of despair. As members of the community of responsible nations, many of whom represented today, let's elevate these values of courage and commitment and compassion. And as we reflect on the pain and agony of what war once brought, let's not be afraid of grace and beauty and goodness and truth for our own time. And given the complexities of our own time, perhaps it is our call to become the next great generation. God bless America. Vive la France.
Allocution de Monsieur Tim Kilvert Jones, historien.
Madam Ambassador, Congressman, Monsieur le Maire, gallant veterans, officers, soldiers, sailors and airmen of the Allied Armed Forces collected here today. It's a great privilege to stand in front of you next to this magnificent memorial commemorating the 1,089 Higgins boats that assaulted the beaches of Normandy between 6:30 in the morning and 7:30 in the morning on the 6th of June 1944. These landing craft delivered over 36,000 warriors across the open shores in the face of a determined hostile enemy. The courage of the young officers and sergeants leading their platoons off these craft determined the course of that day, and they seized victory on each beach, often in the face of horrendous risk, enormous casualties, and in the face of a determined enemy. We're here because one great American, Andrew Jackson Higgins, conceived of a design of a craft that could operate in shallow water and deliver a concentrated mass, a platoon of infantry, in one spot on a hostile shore. This was his result. It allowed us the tool to deliver victory in Northern Europe. This memorial is cited here for two very important reasons. Because over my shoulders is the United States Naval Monument in Europe. It commemorates specifically all the craft and all the men who manned those craft, who landed the troops ashore on that great day, 6th of June 1944. But we're also here, and this beach was chosen for this memorial because this beach truly represents the great spirit of America. It is here that Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. came ashore in the first wave and decided, though landing 2 kilometers in the wrong place, that he would start the war from here. Why is he important? He died on the 12th of July 1944 of a heart attack, aged 56, in Normandy. Today he is buried in the Saint-Laurent-Colville Cemetery along with 9,500 other great Americans. But most importantly, he is buried next to his elder brother, Quentin Roosevelt. Quentin died in 1918, a fighter pilot in France. This is the strength of America. 2 young men from one great family that delivered us one of the greatest presidents of the United States in the 20th century. One family gave up 2 sons in 2 world wars to liberate Europe from tyranny. This, my friends, this is the strength of America. So, yes, sir, God bless America. Vive la France, and vive the Alliance.
Allocution de Monsieur Moser, maire de Columbus, Nebraska.
It's a great honor to stand with you on this historic battlefield to dedicate this replica Higgins boat. This boat serves as a permanent reminder of the critical role that Andrew Jackson Higgins played in the success of D-Day landings 71 years ago today. This Higgins boat, a product of his inventive genius, allowed thousands of brave U.S. and Allied soldiers to come ashore to battle fierce resistance from the German army. We are a free people today as a result of the bravery and the tenacity shown by the Allies here on June 6, 1944. The citizens of Columbus, Nebraska are proud of our native son, Andrew Jackson Higgins. We offer this boat to the people of France as a reminder of the great battle won on this shore. Also, I want to thank all the veterans who risked their life and fought on this shore. We appreciate your service and we thank you. With us also today is Ed Higgins, who's the great nephew of Andrew Jackson Higgins, and he's come along to represent the family. Thank you, all the contributors and supporters from Columbus, Nebraska, that made this possible today. Thank you for the French government, to the town of Sainte Marie du Mont and the mayor, Henri Millet, and the Utah Beach Museum for all your help and cooperation. May God continue to bless the USA. May God continue to bless France. May the US and France remain friends and allies forever. Thank you.
Allocution de Madame Hartley, l'ambassadeur des États-Unis.
Madame la Préfète, Mr. Senator, Congressman Fortenberry, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Moser, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour. I am honored to be with you here today for the inauguration of this wonderful memorial. Congressman Fortenberry, Mr. Moser, Mr. Higgins, it is a testament to the dedication and passion of the people of Nebraska that we are here for this event. Just an aside, Congressman Fortenberry came to see me in my office, I think last February, and he said he wanted to get this memorial done for D-Day. I said to him, I assume you mean next D-Day. He said, no, this one. I was skeptical, but I shouldn't have been, because with true American prairie spirit, perseverance, and strength, we can get anything done, and the people of Nebraska did. Congratulations. And it is wonderful to see so many people who are here to celebrate the spirit of the ingenuity and entrepreneurship of Andrew Jackson Higgins that this memorial speaks to. I must say, though, the most important thing here today is these wonderful men sitting in our front rows. We owe a huge debt to these men who took these beaches, moving out under withering fire to go onward to glory and their eternal reward. We owe these men a debt that we can never truly repay. And I say men, but they were really boys in the prime of their lives, all of whom were willing to give up their own futures in order to protect ours. It is a special honor to be able to meet with the veterans who are here, who have firsthand knowledge of what it was like to ride in one of those Higgins boats on that fateful day. Gentlemen, thank you for your service. I am truly humbled to be here in your presence. On behalf of President Obama, my entire family, my husband is with me today, and the American people, thank you. And may God bless our brave veterans that aren't with us today and all who have served. And may God bless also all who serve today for the peace and security of the world. Vive la France. God bless the people of France, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, je vous demanderai tous de vous lever pour la bénédiction. Please raise for the benediction. Thank you very much. Bénédiction de l'archevêque des armées US, Timothy Broguillou.
I was asked to give this invocation in French, not because we think God understands French better than English, but perhaps out of respect for the host country. But I would add a word of thanks to all of those who organized this event and this celebration. Seigneur, nous voici rassemblés en ta présence en occasion de l'anniversaire du débarquement des forces alliées cherchant de redonner la liberté à l'Europe. Nous leur remercions de leur sacrifice. Nous prions pour ceux qui ont donné leurs jeunes vies ici. Nous pensons aux familles qui ont reçu les dépouilles mortelles au lieu des fils et des époux vivants. Nous nous rappelons également tous ceux qui ont perdu leur vie à cause de leur religion ou leur ethnie. Nous venons louer et donner l'honneur à ceux qui ont inventé et produit le bateau utilisé pour débarquer les soldats il y a 71 ans. Ils ont travaillé avec la vision d'un bout, la libération des peuples, leurs frères et la société humaine. Ils ont reconnu que chaque personne a été créée dans ton image. C'est pourquoi nous te supplions, Dieu de miséricorde, d'inspirer la même vision et créativité au service de la paix, ainsi que de la coopération entre tous les membres de la société humaine. Change notre énergie de guerre en force de paix, nos armes en charrues. Donne-nous la capacité de négocier, de parler et d'écouter. Aide-nous à ne pas oublier les sacrifices de ce lieu et d'être actifs pour que la situation de guerre ne se répète plus. Enfin, nous demandons ta bénédiction pour tous ceux ici rassemblés. Conduis-nous sains et saufs chez nous et donne-nous la paix. Nous faisons notre prière par Jésus le Christ, notre Seigneur et notre Dieu, avec le Saint-Esprit pour les siècles des siècles. Amen.
Bénédiction de Monseigneur Lagoutte, évêque.
À l'heure où nous évoquons ici le 71e anniversaire du débarquement, à cet instant même, le pape à Sarajevo est dans une cité, un pays qui a connu la guerre et qui essaie aujourd'hui de panser ses plaies. Nous évoquons ce besoin de la paix aujourd'hui. Le pape François dit qu'aujourd'hui, quand on regarde dans le monde, la guerre continue, mais par morceaux. Nous devons ici, dans cette commémoration, porter le souci d'une construction continuelle de paix aujourd'hui. Que le Seigneur nous aide chacun, là où nous sommes, dans nos responsabilités, à être des bâtisseurs qui se rappellent le passé, mais pour mieux préparer l'avenir. Que Dieu Tout-Puissant nous bénisse, le Père, le Fils et le Saint-Esprit. Amen.
Mesdames, Messieurs, vous pouvez vous rasseoir. Ladies and gentlemen, you can sit. Nous allons maintenant procéder à l'inauguration officielle.
Je vais reprendre la corde par là. Monsieur?
Oui.
Oui, vous avez de l'autre côté. S'il vous plaît.